Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Inspired Love, Life, and Business podcast. I'm excited to be here with you today. This week is obviously a little different than others. For those of you who do not know, my name is Nin Din. I am in love with all of things love, life, and business. I love growing businesses, consulting, marketing, all of the ideas around business growth, incorporating love and life and everything that brings balance to your business so you can excel and create a huge impact in the world in the way that you hope. So, with this week, there has been some events that took place yesterday specifically, and I won't get into details, but it does involve something that happened at an elementary school, and a lot of lives were lost. And as a mom, which I don't mention very often, but when events like these take place, it's hard to fully understand why they happen, how to really feel, and then to have those conversations with your family, your children, especially the young ones, when it happens so close to home. For us, we are about 4 hours away from where the event took place. And for me, at first, it was very surreal. It didn't really hit me. Yesterday, I wasn't feeling very well in terms of my allergies just getting the best of me. So I wasn't taking a lot of things in. It wasn't until this morning that I finally realized the reality of the situation and how often it's been occurring. And with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I think it's very important to address the fact that these things happen not because of the gun right laws and those things that are or aren't allowed when it comes to what we can access and how it's accessed and all of that. For me personally, it starts with how you're treating the next person, how each individual is being treated, how they're being handled when it comes to really sensitive feelings and emotions. How are they getting processed? Are they being treated equally as a male versus a female, an adult versus a child? How does all of that look? How are we handling those things when it comes to our loved ones, when it comes to our neighbors, our students, our anyone, really everyone that we encounter? How are we handling them? How are we dealing with how their day is? Because I've said it a lot and I will reiterate, I try not to treat someone based off of a moment's encounter, mainly because everyone can have a bad or a good day, which affects then how they share their energy in each individual moment. And after so long of having your feelings and emotions possibly ignored or not going acknowledged, not being addressed, so many things can process in your head, in your brain space, the things that you consume, the people you interact with. It affects everything that you think. I am not having this conversation to say that I can in the least understand what this person went through whenever this incident occurred for them. But I do know that mental health awareness, though we are doing a lot better now than we used to before, it doesn't get taken seriously like some other diseases, some other problems that we spend a lot of money helping to care for, a lot of resources to help others to process. And it's wild that this still happens. And I will do more research as to how I can help, as to what I can do to contribute to making this situation happen less, to helping others to feel like they are heard and they are understood, helping other people to get the help that they might need. There's a lot that can be done, but it starts with that first thing, understanding where we are as individuals and how we are treating the next person. It's as simple as that. And I encourage you and everyone that you encounter to spread and share the light and the positivity that you can, and not base your opinions of others off of one negative encounter or something that may have happened negatively in a certain time or space or period. Because everyone goes through those ups and downs, and being compassionate and understanding is the best way to go about it. If it's someone you know that you can reach out to, see how they're doing, see how you can support them, that is a wonderful place to start. My intention was not to share this today, but growing up, going through all of those emotions and feelings of being not good enough, of wondering if your life is even worth living, if you even mean something to anyone in this world, those feelings are hard to get rid of on your own. When you don't have someone who understands how you feel, when you don't have someone to relate to, whether it's within your life or where we find a lot of our support nowadays is in entertainment and media. If you don't see people like you, if you don't understand that your story, your feelings, the things that you're going through are shared by others, you feel so alone. And it's easy to think terrible thoughts. It's easy to get into terrible things. Again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't know how this individual was feeling. I don't know all of the things that he was going through. But I do know that having others who understand, who are willing to listen, who are willing to be there just to lend an ear means the world. And that's where it starts. So I will look up other resources that I can add to this podcast for those of you who are interested. But being that I want to share more about love, life, and business, this very much affects all aspects, right? Because this affects how business is going to be run for those of you who do run businesses, who are going to stop posting or stop sharing, or to take a moment, an hour a day to process what's going on. Obviously, it affects love and life. These events are so meaningful and so powerful in that it gives us a moment to stop and reassess how we're doing things, how we're handling them, how we're handling our lives and the lives of others around us. So I want to take this time out as well to show my appreciation to you for continuing to show up for yourself, for others, for I know that you are also seeking answers for what's right for you, what's right for your families, what's right for your business, because it's not something that we ever want to encounter, but it's something we need to know how to navigate so that we can better educate those around us and especially our children. I know that a lot of schools here in Texas are allowing students to visit the counselor's office. It's the end of the year. Parents are very confused as to how to handle the situation, how to handle the situation with their children, whether or not the last couple of days or the last few weeks are even worth it to send them to school when they can be holding them tight and close at home. I had a conversation with my daughter this morning that I didn't intend on having, but I know that there will likely be conversations about it in school, and I didn't want her to have no idea what was going on. And one of the important things I had to share with her was, yes, this is a tragedy. This is something that you can never anticipate. In most cases, it's not something that we know when it's going to happen or how. There are definitely signs, but these situations should not stop us from living our lives and doing the best that we can to live life to the fullest and do what we can to make the world a better place. I shared with her that these events sometimes happen in public places beyond schools. It happens in malls, in movie theaters, in churches. It happens just about anywhere. And she said, okay, we won't go to the mall anymore. We won't go to the movies. And for me, instantly, I said, no, we give them power. When that happens, we lose our freedom and our independence when we stop doing the things that we love in light of a tragedy, in light of something that can be prevented, that should be prevented. What's important is that we find the answers as to how this can be prevented. And it brings back to showing love and showing compassion. And I will continue to do what I can every day to show that to myself and to people around me and do my part. I'm not going to get into the politics and into the arguments of what the laws are around all of this. But I know where I want to start. I know what I want to do, and I know how I want to share it with my family and those that I love. I know it's not an easy place and an easy time to process this information, but we are here for each other. We don't have to do any of it alone. That to me is very important. There is not a single person in this world who has to do anything alone. There is somebody else out there who shares that story, at least one other person. But there are 8 billion of us. There are lots of other people who come from somewhat similar backgrounds who can share their story and their light to help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. With that being said, it's so important that you share your story and get out there so that others who need you can feel empowered and get connected with you and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I want to continue this conversation by saying that we can be a source for good, a source for light. I hear stories all the time of how something a teacher said or something that a stranger even told someone who had bad thoughts or negative thoughts and just felt terrible. One smile, one compliment, one positive thing can go so long and so far and make such a great impact that it's worth doing every day. It's worth sharing and shining your light and spreading that love to others. So I encourage you today to tell someone you love them, to call up that person you haven't talked to in so long, wondering how they've been doing. But because you guys got into a small argument or some debacle, you haven't talked to them in years. Pick up the phone, put on FaceTime, get on a call, go see them. Hugs and love and compassion, it's going to mean so much to you, and it's going to go far for them as well. Of course, continue to show those people around you how much they mean to you, how much they've impacted your lives. how they've encouraged you to get to where you are, how they've helped you to get out of the slump that you were in. Whatever it looks like, continue to show your gratefulness and letting others know what kind of an impact they've had in your life, because it matters. It really, really matters. You don't know when people are going to need it, and it'll make you feel good as well. I'm going to end this podcast here. I hope that it was encouraging to you in some way and maybe sparked a little bit of a light in your heart to go out, share your message and your story, and connect with someone, encourage someone, show them love and compassion to make their day better as well as yours, in love, life, and in business. Go get inspired. I'll see you again next time. If this benefits and helps you in any way, if there's anything in this message that you found encouraging or uplifting, it would mean the world if you can share it with someone else, one person, two people, people in your office, anyone at all. It would mean the world. My hope is to be able to make an impact in a positive manner, to encourage others to live the life of their dreams and going full out. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me.